So this problem is to first complete the square and then to find the max or min values. So in the first step of completing the square, we need to factor out our coefficient of the x squared term out of both the x squared and the x terms. So that means we need to pull out a negative 3. What would be left out of the negative 3x squared term would be x squared. And pulling out a negative 3 out of negative 20, because 20 is not divisible by 3, we can write this as positive 20 over 3x. So we're basically dividing out a negative 3 out of each term, and a negative divided by a negative makes a positive, and 20 over 3, or 20 divided by 3 just remains as 20 over 3. So the next step is to do the b over 2 squared. So our b is a fraction this time, is 20 over 3, but then we have to divide that by 2 and square it. So to simplify that, a fraction divided by another fraction, we can write this 2 as 2 over 1, is the same thing as multiplying by the reciprocal. So this would be 20 over 3 times 1 over 2 squared. And 20 over 3 times 1 over 2, you multiply straight across to make it 20 over 6 squared, which then 20 divided by 6 would go to 10 over 3. So it'd be 10 over 3 squared, which when you square 10 would be 100, square 3 is 9. So we need to add 100 over 9 inside the parentheses. So this will make negative 3 times x squared plus 20 over 3x plus 100 over 9. But to keep things balanced, if we added 100 over 9 here, what we actually added to this side is 100 over 9 times negative 3. So multiplying that out means that we actually put in a negative 300 over 9, or we could call that 100 over 3. So to balance that, we need to add 100 over 3 outside the parentheses. Okay, so now let's factor what is on the inside. We get negative 3, and it always factors to the 20 over 3 divided by 2. We found that 20 over 3 divided by 2 was 20 over 6, which is also 10 over 3. So we can write this as x plus 10 over 3 squared, and bring down the outside 100 over 3. So now this is in our vertex form, since vertex form is a times x minus h squared plus k, where h comma k is the vertex of the parabola. Okay, so what we just found is, number 1, we completed the square. I should bring down the y as well. This is the completed the square form. Next, since we want to find the max or min value, let's do a quick sketch. We know that our vertex is going to be at h comma k, excuse me, which the h would have to be negative 10 over 3, and the k would be 100 over 3. So this would be negative 10 over 3, this would be 100 over 3, and so this would be our vertex point. When our a is negative, as in this case, the parabola opens down. So the parabola is going to have a look that looks something like that. That's just a sketch. And so that means that this vertex point is our maximum, not the minimum, because when the quadratic, or excuse me, when the parabola faces down, it makes the vertex to be a maximum. So that means that 100 over 3 would be the maximum. And if we wanted that in a coordinate, we would write that as negative 10 over 3, comma 100 over 3. So I hope this video was helpful for you. If it was, please subscribe to my channel and share with anyone who you think might find these videos useful. Thanks.